Hey everyone, my name is Kay and welcome back to another speed build. First of all, I want to apologize for the delay. This video was supposed to be up on Sunday, but I just wasn't able to finish it. I started working on it last week, but I also work during the days and then have tutoring sessions in the evenings. So it just wasn't possible for me to finish this video on Sunday. This was the first possible day for me. So I'm very sorry that it is up this late, but I am so incredibly excited about this speed build. It is the house from the Lover music video from Taylor Swift, and I absolutely loved working on this build. The music video was just so inspiring and sweet and beautiful, and I really loved the fishbowl metaphor slash symbolism, really liked that, and also the ending was just, oh god, my heart was just melting. I also really liked the use of the different colours in all the rooms, and after a while I just realized, wait a minute, this could be a really cool project to do in The Sims. So here it is, and I really hope you like it. I worked very hard on it. It wasn't easy to do this in The Sims, I'm going to be honest. I really struggled with the layout of this because of course the house in the music video wasn't supposed to be an actual house. Because for example, there is no kitchen in there. And there is no actual bathroom, and then the doors from the bathroom and the bedroom, they don't go anywhere really, so I had to invent some extra rooms for it to lead somewhere. And then also I added a kitchen and 2 bathrooms for the house to be fully functional to play in The Sims. I tried to do them in the same style of the rest of the house with the colours. So the kitchen is a grey colour, but also a muted kind of grey like the rest of the rooms in the house. And then the bathrooms I made purple because that colour wasn't included yet in the palette. Also, you guys are going to have to bear with me because of course not everything is possible in The Sims yet. Spiral staircases. So in the house, in the music video, Taylor uses spiral staircases and then a ladder to go up to the attic. But of course, The Sims 4 does not include any of those types of stairs. So I had to use regular stairs and then just play around a bit with the rooms and the layout of the house to make it work. But I tried my very best to make it look okay, and I hope you guys think it looks good as well. So this house was built on a 40 by 30 lot in Willow Creek, and it costs about 190,000 simoleons. Don't forget to put all your cheats on the move objects one and the show hidden objects one, all of those, because otherwise you're going to miss items in the house. I also created a garden in the back because the video didn't show any garden, but I still had a lot of space left in the back of the lot. So I created a garden and I tried to make it very sweet and cozy and romantic to fit the rest of the house and of course the Lover music video and the song. So what do you guys think of the song and the music video? I really like the song. It is very classic and timeless, and I think when I will be listening to it in 10 years or 20 years time, that it is still going to sound good and it would still somehow fit that time. I really love the honesty in the song and the lyricism and just the words. It's a really beautiful song. And it makes me feel like I have a lover as well, which I don't, but it makes me feel that way. So, that's nice to feel that way for 3 or 4 minutes. But you can see Taylor is very proud of that song herself as well. And she has every right to. It's so romantic, and I actually am thinking about using that song to use that on my wedding if I ever have one. So, I've never actually thought about that before. And with this song, I feel like I might actually use it. But beside the song Lover, there is also, of course, an album that's come out that's called Lover, and I want to talk to you guys about that. First, I want to tell you my story of the album release day. So after work, I immediately went to the shop to buy the album. But as you probably know, there are deluxe versions of the album, and there are 4 of them, and all of them include bits and pieces of Taylor's old diaries. And if I could, I would have bought them all, but I do not, of course, have enough money to buy every single one of them, so I could only buy one. And as I was standing in the shop staring at the different versions, I just didn't know which one to go for. And then I heard a girl not far away from me speak English to another person, and that is very unusual around here. People don't usually speak English around here. And a bit later, she comes to stand next to me, and she's also looking at the albums. And I see she's carrying a limited edition box of Lover. So, of course, that is a clear sign of me that she's a big fan as well. So I ask her, I say, hey, do you know the content of the different versions? Because I can only buy one of them and I don't know which one to go for. And she says, well, I only know the first one has the first draft of All Too Well, but other than that, actually, I don't have any idea. So I just keep staring at the albums because I suck at making decisions. So she takes the 4 different versions and holds them before me, and she says, okay, which one looks like the one you want? And I just keep staring because that's just the way I am, okay? I'm not capable of making any decisions whatsoever in my life. So I say, I'm so sorry, I'm just so bad at this. And she goes, well, that's okay. You know what I would do? I would go for the first one, because otherwise it'll feel like something is missing. And thankfully, I was thinking the exact same thing, because if you go, for example, for number 3, then it's annoying that number 1 and 2 aren't there. And if you have number 1, then, number 2 and 3 and 4 might as well not exist. If you know what I mean? So I go for version 1, and we start talking about the album, and we walk to the checkout together, and we're still chatting after we made our purchase. So she suggests we go for a drink somewhere if I have nowhere else to be. And then me, a person who does not enjoy talking, let alone to strangers, who never does anything spontaneously, says yes. I said yes. So be proud of me, please. So we went for a drink and we toasted to the album release and talked about it some more. And it was really fun, actually, to spend the album release day with an actual fan, because none of my friends are as big of a fan as I am. So that was really nice. And then just after that, we just started chatting away, talking about our lives in general, and turns out she's from South Africa, which is very far away from here. So that is actually, a really interesting thing about her. And she's currently working in my country. So yeah, it's crazy how you can meet these people and they could be from anywhere in the world. So we talked for an hour about everything and nothing, and then I needed to go, of course, because I had to go buy groceries and do adult stuff. But yeah, that day I learned that talking to a stranger can be really interesting and fun. So that was something new for me. I usually avoid people, so I learned something new that day, and it was personal growth, so I am very proud of myself. I also just want to thank Taylor Swift for giving me the courage to talk to people by being an excellent conversation subject. So thank you, and also thank you to that lovely girl for the lovely chat, of course. Then that evening I sat down and I read all the journal entries of the deluxe version number 1, and it was just, I don't really know how to describe the feeling I got when I was reading those things. I started tearing up at one point even. It was just so inspiring and encouraging to read things from a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 16-year-old girl who's trying so hard to achieve her dreams and then to keep reading and to, find out she actually achieved those dreams by working hard and being herself. And it was just so inspiring. And I just love how young Taylor goes, well, I wrote this song today, she just says it very simply, and then that song that she wrote on that day is a massive hit nowadays. So that's just crazy, actually, how she started out doing these things just in a bedroom at such a young age, and then it turned out into something so big. One of the funny things that I read was that she wrote a small quote and then she added in between brackets, "This could be worth money someday. Haha, just kidding." And I was like, well, I did just buy this deluxe album for the journal entry, so actually, yeah, it did end up being worth money, so well done you. One of the most amazing things that I read in the deluxe version #1 is when she talks about her worry our generation and the fact that everyone always needs to capture every moment. And it's so real what she says there. I'm going to read this for you guys. So she says, "I am of the generation where you see a beautiful flower growing up through the cracks in the sidewalk and you pick it. You take it with you to show everyone you know. Whereas I think our ancestors might came upon a beautiful flower and stop and think, wow, that is really beautiful. But never mind that picking a flower kills it, the same way taking a picture of a moment can ruin it altogether. Everyone needs to possess things. They need photographic proof that that is where they were. They need to then post that photo online so their friends can see it, so that they can spend all day checking the comments underneath. That level of possession worries me." And she's absolutely right, Everywhere people go, they are taking selfies when they are in a beautiful place with beautiful nature around them, instead of just watching and looking around and taking in the moment. Everyone's always taking pictures and then looking at their screens and posting it, and they don't, it worries me as well, and I try my best not to ruin my moments whenever I am somewhere significant. And I advise you guys to do the same. Okay, so let's talk about the rest of the songs on the album. If you guys want to, please let me know what your favorite songs are. My current top 5 is Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, Cruel Summer, Cornelia Street, Afterglow, and Death by a Thousand Cuts. Some of my other favorite songs are The Archer, The Man, and Daylight. But just the whole album is just really, really, really good. I'm also happy that she owns this album by herself, because I also do think that artists deserve to own their own work. They are the ones that made it. It's their art. Why should anyone else own it, So I'm really happy about that fact. So as I said, my current favorite song is Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, and I think it's because it's haunting and dark, which is different from the rest of the songs on the album. They are more happy and sound lighter than this one, and I always like, a dark twist to songs. That's the way I am. And my favorite thing about this song is the bridge. This bridge is so good. I absolutely love it. She really went to Bridge City with this album. So many songs include such amazing bridges. I'm so jealous of her songwriting. I mean, not jealous, because she's amazing and she's so inspiring. It motivates me to, improve my writing as well, because I write songs as well. So it's very inspiring, and I'm going to, I can only hope that one day I can create something that comes at least a bit near to what she's doing, because that would be such an accomplishment. Then my second favorite is Cruel Summer, and that song has so many amazing lyrics in it. For example, the one where she says, "Devils roll their dice and angels roll their eyes." I think that's such a clever way of saying something. And then, of course, this song as well has an amazing bridge. I absolutely love it, where she just screams, "I don't want to keep secrets just to keep you." And then at the end of the bridge where she sings, "I screamed for whatever it's worth, I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard." And I think that's just such clever songwriting. I absolutely love those lyrics. And then when after the bridge, she like growls, he looks up grinning like a devil. And the way she just does that, I absolutely love it. She doesn't usually do that, so I really love that. Then my third favorite is Cornelia Street. And it's such a soft sounding song, but at the same time it's kind of heartbreaking as well, because she talks about how she was going to walk away because she thought he was leading her on, and then she left, but thankfully everything turned out all right. But the way she sings about that love, about how much of a heartbreak it would be for her if that would ever end, how she would ever avoid everything that is even linked to that person. I think it's kind of terrifying to have a love that goes that deep. You know, I mean, that's just my opinion, but I'm also really happy for her, of course, that she found a love that is, you know, everything. But yeah, it's a beautiful song. I love the melody and the instrumentals and just the way it goes. I really, really love listening to that. And then another favorite of mine, Afterglow, is actually one of the only songs on the album that is relatable to me, because I totally recognize myself in that song, and the way she acts, I can act that way as well. So it's nice to have a relatable song on there as well. And it's also very hopeful to hear her sing these words, that she can be that way, but that person still stayed. So that is very hopeful for me to hear, of course, that if I ever act that way again, someone will stay. And then my number 5 of my top 5 is Death by a Thousand Cuts. And that is because the instrumentals are just gorgeous in this song. I love it so much. And then the lyrics are just absolutely amazing as well. And of course, we go to Bridge City again in this song, because it is another one of her amazing bridges. And then another significant song to mention is The Man, because that song is just so important. It's not just good, it's also very important, the content of it. She's definitely calling out those double standards. And I absolutely love that, because of course she's not the only one who's feeling that way. Every woman has at least felt that way once in her life, if not every day. So to have her make that song is just, you know, it means a lot, and that means that I can share it on my social media, because she just explains it so well and in such a great way. To put that in a song and make it sound amazing as well, that's just great. By the way, if you ever think, what in the world is she saying, then I am so sorry, I'm just not very eloquent. So I try my best. Oh, by the way, I asked my mum to listen to this album as well. She was so nice to me because she knows I'm such a big fan, so she really does that for me. And I asked her to tell me what she thinks of every song once she has listened to it, and she actually did that. So I think that's so nice of her to indulge me like that. She's so sweet, and I just love her so much. And actually, she's also the reason that I can't really listen to Soon You'll Get Better on the Lover album, because Taylor wrote that about her mother, who had or has cancer, and my mum had cancer as well, so that song is too relatable for me. I couldn't I can't think of even losing my mother. It hurts me too much, and when I listen to that song, I think about that all over again, and it's a beautiful song, but it also hurts listening to it. Of course, for Taylor, it hurts as well to even write or sing it. And I'm also thankful that she put that on the album because it's a beautiful song. It's very worthy of being on the album. But every time it comes on, I have to skip it because it just makes me feel too much, and I cry. And I don't want to do that because the rest of the album is just so much fun and yeah. But okay, to summarize this whole voiceover, I love the Lover album. It's so amazing, and I recommend it to everybody else. You really need to listen to it. And yeah, let's get back to you guys. How are you doing? How's your week going? I hope everyone's having an amazing time and having a lovely day. And if you are not, I hope this video somehow helped you. If you have gotten this far in the video, then thank you so much for listening and watching. I can't believe you have listened to me ramble for 20 minutes about things that I love. And if it's not something that you love, but you've still gotten this far, then thank you so much, for spending your time listening to me ramble about things I love. So thank you so much for that. And I also really hope that you like this build. I spent so much time on this, trying to figure out everything and then making everything. And I really hope you like it and you love, the way I did it and the way I solved the problems I encountered trying to remake this. So if you like this, then please give it a thumbs up. That will mean so much to me, and it will mean even more to me if you subscribed. I would really appreciate that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching again. I hope you are going to have a great rest of the week and weekend, and I will see you guys next time.